looking to try and get back on the horse, right? But with a little bit of a bump in the road in this series could mean that that wheel has fallen off, Wolf.
This time
Horses
DNS
don't have
will...
wheels, do they? That's my bad.
Well, I mean, put roller skates on and see what happens.
Hey, that's a good point.
This time DNS will be on blue side. Hanwha Esports looking for first pick on red side.
All right, they'll have it.
And I mean, the draft here gets a little bit tricky because a lot of the safe picks are gone in terms of AD carry, the Ezreal, the Corki. The Ahri pick kind of throws us for a bit of a loop. I think the Ryze stocks are way up.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen Ryze into Taliyah so many times, but the Taliyah was picked and they just opted for the Ahri answer, which worked out. Like, Closer made some really big plays, but that means Ryze is still available. I think that will be where Hanwha Esports are looking here in this draft, especially with this Yunara ban, which would have been the other pick I thought might be first pickable. I know Guma has shied away from it in the past, but I think we've seen a bit of an evolution.
Yeah.
And on the side of DNS, they're just going to keep banning those OP jungle picks.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the Ambessa ban. I thought that would be the one that would be dropped in favor of the Ryze, because I think you still have to ban Rumble. That is just guaranteed. But with Ryze kind of looming, it is a little bit of a scary situation.
If Hanwha ban Ryze here, then something interesting is going to happen. Okay.
No, it's Mup. We got Mup coming through. As Pantheon is going to be taken away. Ja once again.
So Zeka on Ryze, not his best champion, but it is a pick that is incredibly powerful right now. Oh, just first pick Aphelios Lulu.
I was thinking that one could be the way to play it. It is Docked On. There is no Vi to worry about.
You probably have to get the Lulu right here.
I would agree.
Or they will take it away and try to outlane you.
Just have to see what the answer is going to be from Gumiyushi. We did see Taeun on the Caitlyn yesterday. That was something that was able to lane quite effectively as the Cassiopeia answer. You don't need to pick that here.
No, you really don't. If Delight takes a Lulu away, I mean, he'll obviously have to have a strong pairing with it to justify it.
Oh, okay.
Guma has been a bit of a Ziggs enjoyer as of late.
He has sort of, he jumped on the Ziggs bandwagon. He probably heard that Orcs was here and was like, how do I make Orcs a Gumiyushi fan? Well, this is one way to do it, as he will lock that one in. Could be just Ziggs Leona that we've seen many times.
The risky thing about picking Ziggs, though, is if you don't play well, you will become, you'll make Ox an anti.
Oh, that's true. That's dangerous.
Good old support LeBlanc for some extra lane pressure.
That would
try to pick Lulu into this.
Well, we'll see whether they do actually.
It actually could kind of work, to be totally honest.
That's too many mages, Wolf. They'd only be picking mages, as Nautilus is what's going to be locked in.
The draft got significantly less magical.
Yeah, it really did. But that's okay. It's still quite magical.
Well, now that it's the Nautilus, I suppose you still just can go for the Lulu here, and then they'll have to ban a lot of different jungle bruisers to make the Lulu value a little bit less. Or you can just go Rel instead.
That's not what I was expecting.
Peter right now is very much in the mindset of, I will engage on them.
Yes. And so playing Lulu is not going to allow him to do that. So an interesting thought, because now the Aphelios is going to have nowhere near the same amount of peel, and there is already a Nautilus there, right? So the depth charge will always go off. So
you can satchel after that. You can obviously drop your ultimate down as Guma on top of the Aphelios for free. It's kind of hard to avoid that in general. Okay, so tanking again in the top side. Dudu's like, I'm going to make a front line for this Aphelios since we don't have a Thresh or a Lulu.
Yep, Dudu really wants to play Renekton. I think that is what I'm seeing here is Lee Sin going to be taken away from Pyoshik. This is certainly one of his better champions.
That was the pick I had in my mind, actually, for how this comp might work out here for DN Supers.
Qiyana. I think if your opponent picks Qiyana in the LCK, though, isn't that a good thing? Oh, wait, it's Kanavi. Never mind. He is an LPL jungler. We have to remember that.
I think it might hint as to what they want to do with this comp. And it is very strong with the already strong setup they have with this Nautilus. Not a lot of easy engage champions left in the jungle pool. I'm kind of wondering if we end up seeing, like, Renekton here, I don't think we're going to see Nidalee, but some sort of other unique pick here coming out from Pyosik. Like, even Sejuani maybe could work here.
Man, think about, like, the double horse.
I mean, Hecarim actually kind of good.
Oh,
now,
my God.
This really will need a front line of some kind. I don't think you can play the Kindred or the Graves without Dudu being on.
He wants to shoot. The man wants to shoot.
Hecarim!
It's Hecarim! The double horse! Okay, that's kind of fun. I don't know if it's good, but it certainly seems to be fun.
We can talk about it because it's been seeing some niche play in solo queue with the Endless Hunger, and it is seeming to be quite potent at the moment. And it is going to force a response here from Hanwha Life Esports, looking for the Trundle. Trundle normally is really happy about taking out a tank, which I think is what Dudu is likely going to be playing in this draft, but also can really disrupt Hecarim's kit by just putting a pillar in front of him to make it difficult for him to actually close the gap.
Can be quite annoying.
Let's see what Zeus has in mind here, because
it has to be blind.
It has to be. It didn't work out for him with the Aurora pick last time around.
And yeah, well, blind Aurora, it sounded dangerous to me. Let's see what he is going to be locking in here.
Just blind Vayne.
Oh, God.
Don't do it, please.
It'll just be
That's
Renekton.
the safest aggressive blind top pick, and it's easy setup or follow-up for the Nautilus engage. Pillar makes it a lot easier. Makes
Pikachu,
a lot of sense.
I choose you. What do you reckon?
I still think he wants a tank, but with the Trundle here, it's really awkward. They don't have a front line in this draft really at all. The Rel doesn't count, especially if she goes Unsealed Spellbook, which I think probably is illegal in this draft. Aatrox, that's a...
He could have been playing new Aatrox, and he decided he just wants to play the old one.
A pseudo front line here. Very skill-based matchup on the top side. Can be quite volatile. Jungle attention might have to be paid up there. And if Guma takes teleport, which he definitely should, you know, it's going to be hard to punish there on the bottom side. So I think we'll see a lot of jungle attention top and mid, maybe even pathing up to the top side of the map, which is quite unusual. You know, we're seeing a lot of jungle attention, obviously, on the bottom side of the map right now with the AD carry quest being as strong as it is. Zeka on Ryze, I don't trust it necessarily. Like, I don't think he has... When you think about our big mid laners that have been in the LCK over the last 5 years, he's on that list, right? But Ryze is iconic for so many of our mid laners in the LCK, and I don't think we can say that about Zeka. He's kind of the odd man out in that regard. But he needs to be able to do consistent damage in this draft because their Ziggs does not have necessarily that same sort of damage output. The Aphelios, later on in the game, especially with Duckdom's, I mean, it's his best champion in his career. When you think about all the way back to when he first joined the LCK, the Dynamics days, he needs to pop off. But I think he can. He's going to be such a consistent win con here in this game.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one's going to go. It's eclectic drafts on both sides. Game 3s are really fun for that reason. Let's get under the rift here for game number 3. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens for game number 3. Pyosik looking pretty cool with that particular skin. Has no change-ups as far as what we're expecting out of the Keystones. Phase Rush, pretty common. But when that Endless Hunger does come in, that's when we're going to see a little bit of deviation from the Hecarims that we've seen in the past. A little bit of fun there. As Closer doing a bit of work up against Zeka. Obviously, this Cassiopeia into Ryze has been like the classic counter pick. But these Noxious Blasts landing in lane, kind of what you need to do to make sure that that one does happen.
This matchup here can be
We've seen this one
volatile.
before, I think, Wolf.
Yeah, we certainly have. Obviously, the lifesteal and healing output of both of these champions makes it, if you're not a master of this matchup, difficult to judge when it is correct to trade and when it is correct to try to back away. The Renekton has the opportunity to look for really nice trading patterns into the Aatrox, but often just wants to cue the wave to heal. I think this lane feels very nice to play as Guma. The initial levels here. I don't think Zeus took a turret shot there. I'm not 100% sure, actually.
Seems a little worse for wear. Otherwise, should be fine. Stockdom, very well known for his Aphelios play. Kumyushi, though, himself, a little bit of an Aphelios aficionado and has played it already so far this season. Once again, him and Carrier did make the Aphelios Thresh pretty famous here in the LCK. But Stockdom has always been pretty good. That gun control, always something that he has been praised for. See whether that is going to continue here, as he has had some more difficult Aphelios games more recently. We do know that he has it in him to really be a hard carry on this champion as Delight. Looking for a bit of an angle here very early on. This is some Andal stuff that he's up to here.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive roam here, but it does not look like it's necessarily going to come to pass.
There's the flash, immediate flash away. As max range hook is going to connect. They're looking for Closer, who will survive. Delight didn't actually use the flash to make that one happen, though.
But Zeka
will also...
Yeah, both summoners on that.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And a teleport will get Closer back here, so he's not going to be punished that much.
Yeah, it'll take him a while to get back, but he will still lose a few of these minions. Or we'll still get most of the minions, is really what I'm saying. We'll lose some, but won't lose all, as you were basically saying. And Kanavi is going to try to level 4 Trundle gank and Aatrox with Flash. Okay, it looks like he was going to. That would be a very Kanavi thing to do, as Zeus is kind of trying to bait Dudu a little bit here, but I do not think this is going to, is actually going to complete the gank.
Yep. Leave. And meanwhile, here towards the bottom side of the map, as Delight had vacated, obviously Peter and Dr. Arm are going to be feeling a little bit better. As Dudu, let's see how this combo is going to go.
Pioshik has
the third one. As we'll land the Infernal Chains. Okay, it is Grasp for Dudu and
so
Conqueror for Zeus, so if he had have kept fighting there, it could have been a little bleak.
Especially with Zeus getting more of that Fury, I think it's the right call to step away once that Conqueror sound effect is heard. As Closer knows that this Ryze has no ghost.
Oh god, yeah. Closer just looking for it. Finds the Twin Fang, and that is just a solo first blood for Closer.
I didn't need a roaming support to get this one.
What is it, 2025, Wolf?
Yeah, this is interesting. That was just a lot of damage coming out. Really good trading pattern there for Closer, knowing Zeka didn't have summoners.
That is a big lead that he's put together now as well. 400 gold.
And, I mean, this is comfort, like across the board. Closer's been a pretty good Cassiopeia player, right? It's Dudu on Aatrox, you're looking at Duckdom on Aphelios here, and they're starting this early game off really nicely.
Check it out one more time.
Just as like, if you're going to try to be aggressive here, let's play that game, sure.
Yeah, he just walked at him and did Twin Fangs.
Yeah, he was like, all right, when I press W, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, and he did that. He's now got 2 red rocks, but I believe he had that before he'd even got that solo kill, so a lot to be purchased as he makes his way back in. Teleports for our top laners, making it back to lane.
Has his ultimate, and it's a combat ultimate, as that's a miss.
Yeah, well, Infernal Chains are broken here by Zeus, as the third Q is going to connect, but World Ender not quite available just yet here for Dudu. We'll have that one very, very soon, as it's 1 minion away.
Like, Closer can just keep trading with Zeka right now.
This is the problem. It doesn't get easy.
Yeah, and like, because he has an ult and Zeka does not, and I'm not talking about level 6, like, when Zeka has level 6, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He can't really have any prio ever, and that's going to be Dragon. Started up at least.
Well, Zeus having to deal with Dudu, who's having a bit of fun on his Aatrox. Actually, some of the best Dudu moments that we've had. Obviously, everyone knows the Dusante that we did just see, but his Aatrox as well has been something that he's really found great success on. I remember him on a red buff killing 3 people.
Well, it's crazy,
really
too,
one of the scariest things.
that Kingen and Zeus obviously have a lot more fame on this champion, but it's still fun to watch the matchup into Zeus, as we keep kind of zooming in on it. As mentioned, it's volatile. I think the observers agree.
Well, Kanavi and Zeka both up here towards his top side, but Pioshik is going to join, and he just says, please leave, everyone, and they won't. They'll just kill him instead. Kanavi almost dead, though, as Dudu looking for some knockups. Closer here just a little too late, and HLE will be able to strike back.
It's a big win here for Life Esports. Get this Renekton ahead, take the Aatrox off the map. He will have to back eventually.
One thing to be said, though, is Pioshik did what he wanted to do. Dudu didn't die.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, there's a flash crash down here from Peter as Doctom has red-white guns, but he's hitting the wave and not quite doing damage here to HLE. It's the flash out from Gumayusi as he finally decides that he wants to kill them. Let's see where the Shattering Strike is going to come on through as chakrams have really built up here for this Aphelios. He's scary, but HLE use both of their flashes and get themselves out.
Yeah, Doctom has ult, so this is really scary. And I don't think they want to extend this play any further, HLE, that is. And in fact, Duda was able to, because he didn't really take that much damage there, stay and finish clearing the wave. I thought that they were going to stick around a little bit longer and force him to back or maybe try to look for a redive, but so much damage was done to the Trundle there that they do not actually opt for anything further.
It's going to mean that the gold has been evened up by that kill towards the top side.
Yeah, this game is incredibly close.
Yeah.
And we've seen, you know, in both games a little bit of errors in the early game, but not really coming to pass in this one. Just some really aggressive play from Closer and a successful gank there on the Aatrox top side. I mean, it was in exchange for Dragon, right? Like, they were able to get the Scuttle top side and then come over, and Pyosik wasn't there fast enough, nor was Closer. So it kind of feels like they got a cross map, basically, in the end.
Yep. Peter now just going to be using some stacks of his World Atlas and heading probably back towards that bottom lane, but Delight's going to show up as well, so a bit of a 2v2 here in mid.
The support's kind of got to get involved to keep this Rise relevant, as, you know, Peter comes over. Oh, a bit of a whiff.
Moonlight Vigil. It looked very cool. Didn't do very much. Zeus moving over here to help take down these grubs. Kanavi should be able to munch these ones.
It's tough.
We'll be able to secure it.
Tough to dive bottom side here as a cross, especially when they're on control vision here. It's going to take so long to actually set this up. Guma does not have flash. They are going to try to do it anyways. I mean, Delight has ult. He is Nautilus, so he can root them.
Yeah, does also have Aftershock as in goes Peter. They want to kill this Ziggs. Let's see whether they can actually find him. There's the Onslaught of Shadows, but down goes Peter. And Pyosik now at full health. Does have to deal with Zeka rotating over, but Closer is right behind him.
I think it's worth. Zeka had to ult there, or I mean, didn't have to, but opted to, and isn't able to really impact the play. Closer crushing mid this hard has made the rest of the map really feel quite strained for Hanwha Life Esports.
Yeah, I'd agree. But it's 1-for-1, sort of all over the place after, you know, those first couple of kills did go down. And so if that continues, then this game is going to stay pretty close.
It's a kill for the Aphelios versus a kill for the Nautilus, but
that's a good point.
At the end of the day, I mean, they still got grubs too, right? So it's not just that play there. That play was forced because they gave grubs on the top side. So Pyosik was like, we have to get something back, and they were able to at least get that BF sword put together here for Doctom.
Zeus just going to not really care too much about these chains. So we're going to have a look at this play one more time.
Yeah, Guma doesn't have flash. The Calirum shot does miss, and Delight just ults Peter to make sure they get the kill, and that is all they are going to get. But pretty self-explanatory there. Like, not much Guma could have done. Delight did the right thing, and it ulted the turret aggroed target.
Yep. Satchel placement was just a little bit unfortunate. Didn't manage to walk over to the right angle, so therefore wasn't able to save his life.
It's so hard in that moment with the ulting Hecarim and all that.
There were a lot of bad guys.
Kanavi is a bad guy.
He is. And he's going to be able to throw down a parking cone here. There's a Subjugate as well, and Dudu is just dead. Sliced and diced, turned into sushi.
To be clear, I mean, from Dudu's perspective, I think Kanavi's pretty great. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, true.
You know.
Don't get it wrong, everyone.
Please don't misunderstand.
Yeah.
He's ex-LPL. It's fine now.
He used to be a bad guy. Not anymore.
There was that arc where he played for Team Korea where I was like, he's good again?
Yeah.
And then he went back to the LPL. But now he's on our side. Well, this is going to be, looks like another potential dragon take here for DNS. There's a contest, though. Peter on the flank.
Yeah, Moonlight Vigil does go down, but there's the hook on to Doctom. Has to flash out of the way of the Mega Inferno Bomb. The bouncing bomb's flying forward as well, but it's Delight to go down first. Petrifying Gaze, and it's a double here for Pyosik, as Zeus has eyes only for Doctom, but he's not able to get up to him. And Pyosik is now just moving forward. The flash from Dudu as well doesn't find the Q, but Pyosik pounces on the Crocodile. And Zeka and Gumayusi, I don't think they're going to have enough to be able to take them down, although these health bars are so low. Infernal Chains, not going to be enough. And that's the kill over to the Rel of all people, as Doctom needs to try and fight this dragon, as there's the satchel. It gets a little bit distracted, does the dragon, but Pyosik smites it down. And Gumayusi just being frustrated. No one really wants to fight him right now, as it's a Hextech Soul once again. I think Peter is just dead. Gumayusi will finally be able to take him down, I assume. But the crashdown comes on forward. Oh, no.
Hextech gate.
He takes the Hextech gate to safety. Wow, I was sure that that was going to be a kill.
Nah. You know, technology. We've moved past supports dying randomly like that.
I guess so. Wow. Technology really has come a long way.
Duckdom does not have his summoner spell.
Yeah, what about AD Carries just dying? That could be a thing that happens here, as he's got Infernum and Severum not really helping out here, and it's just going to be a bonk to the noggin to take him down. Kanavi going to grab some plates from this turret as well.
So you didn't get Peter, but you got the next best thing. In fact, the even betterest thing.
Yeah, the betterer thing.
Bestester.
Yeah.
So in this fight, Peter's flank here looks like it's going to be the main thing, but really it's just the setup for everybody peeling for Duckdom and then the Petrifying Gaze just being the cherry on top here. Guma pressed his buttons and he's like, I'm not an AD carry. You know, I know Zeus, you want to get on the back line here, but Duckdom's keeping him at arm's length, and Guma just cannot offer, unfortunately, enough damage. He's putting it in every time his cooldowns are back. He's trying to put a few autos in there, but the Aphelios is always going to be more powerful in this type of skirmish if he lives.
Oh, doo-doo. Great angle, and he's able to cut him down. Peter stealing the kill away was a little bit sad, but still, this Aatrox is going to be pretty scary. Duckdom does have red-white, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough to actually do anything here, as he's just eaten by Kanavi again.
So the question we had was, will they be able to kill this Aphelios? They did not on the Dragon fight, but they have repeatedly done it when he's trying to farm in the bottom.
They got the memo. They were like, you know what? We should kill this Aphelios. And you know what they did? They killed him twice. So really good work.
Kanavi is taking the enemy red buff now.
Yeah, I don't think Pyoshik's going to be able to stop that one from going down, as Gumayusi also has a red buff as well.
Raptors have not been as successful for him.
No.
When you take the Aphelios off the map like that, you can take even more. You can take the jungle.
Oh, dear. Zeka he was almost out, but now he's pretty dead.
Yeah, it sounded...
as the horses just canter on top of him. Oh, no.
It sounded like he was going to be able to complete the recall, but
that's what I thought, too.
I guess not.
Well, Dominus, World Ender, we've got ultimates coming out here from both of our top laners, as Dudu is just thinking that maybe no is going to be his answer for whether or not he wants to fight, as there are a lot of people making their way up towards his top side. As Hextech Minefield goes down, and Dudu, I think, is just dead. Depth Charge might be enough to finish him off, but Gumayusi, he has the damage and is able to take down the Aatrox.
This is going to be an exchange for a bit of crescendum damage here on the mid-turret. Kanavi does not know that Duckdom is not alone.
Well, it's 2 plates immediately taken down here as Pyoshik might be in trouble as he takes about 1 billion turret shots. Onslaught of Shadows to try and get him to safety, but he gets smoked. The Magnus Storm is not enough to save the horse, and Duckdom, oh dear, he is once again the target, and he is once again dead.
Delight is having a game.
He is.
He is everywhere. He's hitting these max range dredge lines. He was almost able to get Zeka ahead in the lane. He is omnipresent, it feels, in this game, and it pays off in a big way here as Duckdom still did not have his flash there.
And it looked like DNS were actually in a good position and have since just kind of been at the mercy of HLE in back-to-back plays, and despite that team fight going well, they're now behind 3,000 gold.
Yeah, it's really, really quite rough. As this looks initially like it's going to be a really successful setup here. Gosha gets him taking a lot of damage. The cone here actually makes him really take a bunch of extra damage. They just focus him down. And then Duckdom is like, maybe I could do something to get dredge-lined. He was going to die no matter what, but, you know.
Ghost not really helping him.
Not very
in that moment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ghost is on his previous team and not this one. As HLE looking to take down this Rift Herald, they should be able to do so pretty comfortably. Kanavi with the King's Tribute gets full health immediately afterwards. Feels pretty cool there as Moonshot discovers Gumayusi and Delight.
Going to be maybe a turret going down for Closer if he gets some additional time. Not going to be around to defend this one though, so could just straight up be a trade. It looks like that is going to be the case. Yep, it takes him a little bit of time to clear that wave, but I think he should get it there in the bottom lane. The mid turret incredibly more valuable though.
And not actually going to be able to make his way towards it because there are a lot of bad guys moving down towards that bottom side.
Really unlucky for him. Wow.
The minions almost take it down. And I mean, that is just kind of standing gold waiting to go over to DNS. But still.
They are now having their eyes on this dragon, which would be Hextech's sole point. If there's a way back into the game, That is absolutely it. That's additional peel for the Aphelios. All those slows are going to feel amazing if they can secure it. And when you look at the setup here for this fight, they have full prio. They have Ghost and ult for Pioshik. So this is, I think, the last stand here for DNS. If they mess this fight up, if they cannot win this one cleanly, it might just be all downhill from here.
There's the minefield. Pioshik taking a bit of damage from that as Dudu now looking for that flank angle as Pioshik's running real quick.
Zeka just wants to ult in.
Yeah.
He can both clear this wave and then ult in. And DNS are not being decisive. They want to either push Zeka or start this drag, and Dudu's trying to collapse the other side.
This
HLE.
ward is getting so much value. It is absolutely ridiculous. Onslaught of Shadows does come in, but Zeka was ready for it as they saw exactly what they wanted to do. Pioshik's running real fast with that Ghost, but Zeka used his as well as the flash. But now no Onslaught of Shadows, and Dudu in the back of this Dragon Pit does have to get himself out with that Umbral Dash.
I mean, basically, HLE have checkmate here with his position. I mean, Zeka lost his summons, but they lost the Hecarim ultimate, so I think they're pretty okay with the trade, because Zeka can just use his ult to get into this fight at any moment here. DNS are going to have to find an angle with Peter, or just leave, question mark? I guess they're just going to say, look, I mean, this is just not viable. It was checkmate. Nice try.
And Rift Herald is piloted here by Delight. I don't know whether that's exactly what they wanted to do. Kanavi really likes putting down the Rift Herald so that he can get into it in a team fight. But that is not going to be the option. However, it's just one Hextech Dragon. It's not the end of the world here for DNS, but it does show that HLE really did put themselves back in a much better position after that initial loss team fight around the last Dragon.
There's a lot of ways to look at this. I think Hanwha positioning was phenomenal there, with Zeka dealing with the minion wave, had it exactly where he wanted it, so he could both safely clear minions and Realm Warp in. They tried to push him. He got away, used his summons, but they're like, all right, use Hecarim ult. We just go back to the same setup. Dudu's collapse there felt pretty muted because they just could not actually stop the Rise from coming in and doing insane work. So Zeka was basically in two places at once there. I think the call to just not go for that fight feels painful, but because you have the scaling of Aphelios and you already have Double Dragon, if it was Hextech's sole point for a DNS, you'd probably just send it there, right? Because you have the Double Dragon there, you're like, let's just scale. You know, maybe Duckdom will get it done. He almost got it done on the Sivir in game 1, so perhaps he's going to be our win con again.
Well, looking for an Infinity Edge. Should be coming in pretty quickly. Only needs about 1,400, something like that. And then he will be ready. Red-white guns put together now, but not really a fight to use them on just yet. As Gumiushi able to farm at range very, very comfortably. 2 items done here for Pioshik. Does finish off the Black Cleaver as item number 2. Spear of Sojourn was the first choice. Still yet to have that new one. But we'll see whether he puts that together next. As he does have a possible angle. There is the Onslaught of Shadows as he gets on top of Gumiushi. He flashes away. Hextech Minefield is there though, and down goes the horse with 0 response from DNS. As Dudu now looking for it against Zeus here. Hits basically everything that he wants to, but does still have to get himself out as Peter crashes over the wall. That is going to keep him safe.
It looked like a huge opportunity for Pioshik and crew. There's just no follow-up.
Yeah.
Guma flashed, and that was the end of the story. Very valuable flash, but ultimately nothing comes of it. If this was a different scenario where the follow-up was ready, it could have actually been what gets DNS back into this game. I mean, the gold lead has kind of ballooned up to 5,000 here.
Yeah, this is the thing. HLE are just taking incremental advantages.
And it's mostly turrets. You know, they're actually getting significant real damage onto the map here. As Peter is blast coning away when this happens. The cone blocks Duckdom from red white.
So good.
They just cannot do anything here to follow up. And the engage is wasted. And similarly to Pioshik's attempted save on the top side, he's just like, I did the thing! And then he promptly dies.
Yep. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to get too much done. He does have 4 of the team's kills out of the 7, so he's not exactly super far behind, but he has died quite a few times.
So many of Pioshik's iconic wins in the LCK have been with this champion in late game scenarios where he saves the game. Dudu.
Yeah, there is the Umbral Dash flash, but unfortunately there's a cone, and sometimes a cone is all you need. And that is what takes down Dudu yet again. 0 and 3 now on the Aatrox. His closer here towards the top side will be able to take some plates here and does have a minion wave conga lining in, so might be able to get even more. We'll see. That turret is still pretty healthy, and this Cassiopeia doesn't do a massive amount of damage to them. Does have the first 2 items completed though. Those scaling ones are now done. But HLE are just taking an inner turret here towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think that this is not really the trade that DNS wants, but it's the only trade that HLE will allow.
Yeah, and they're also going to take an inhibitor turret.
I will receive an inhibitor turret and possibly an inhibitor. You will receive almost a top lane turret.
Well, that's another minion wave coming in. So they are going to back away. Dr. does move down here, but if they knew what we knew, then they probably could have almost killed Dr. and still managed to take out that turret.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually occur there as they didn't have enough information about who was on the map.
Well,
and does make a lot of sense.
Playing safe is not always the MO of this team, but in this case, I think it is the correct call.
I would agree.
The dragon spawns in 30 seconds. It's the same sort of Hail Mary. If DNS lose this fight, it's over, but it feels like this fight is just impossible. They had the checkmate position last time. Zeka's got his sums back up. I mean, they need a miracle here, and it's going to have to start with Pioshik somehow.
Yep. Dr. has one shot left on this Gravitum. Let's see what he's going to use it for. He might just use it on the wave. Yep. Does just want to get towards Severum now.
Infernum could be decent in this fight, but
Red and White is very close to being set up, and Infernum Ultimate could actually be very dangerous, though. So let's see.
It's going to require Pioshik to make something happen here. He's flashless, so he has to get over the wall manually before he goes in. He doesn't want to ult that. Wants to get on top of the champions with that ability.
Well, DNS not turning their attention towards this mid lane, wanting to get control there as the Dragon going down lower and lower. Zeus and Dudu just fighting off to the side. Minefield is put down there by Gumayusi. Zeus gets into the pit, Mega Inferno Bomb on top of DNS as they look for the angle. Dragon is secured here by HLE, but now the fight is on. Down goes Delight to start it off as red white guns have been put together by Dr. Zeka able to hold him in position with that Rune Prison though. And so it is just a kill and trade for the Dragon, and I think HLE are pretty happy with the outcome.
HLE's setups on both of these Dragons have just been kind of unbreakable, infallible. There's no way for DNS to make a play here. And when it comes down to the Smite fight, that's when they look for the engage. And look at this, Closer is the target. Delight uses the Aphelios to taxi his way in. Closer goes super low, so he can't offer damage. It's only Dr. who can do that. Delight sacrifices himself to guarantee they get the Smite, and also to prevent Pioshik from really getting into a position to actually set anything up there.
Yeah, Pioshik almost just died to a minefield alone.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like he just cantered around the minefield and almost died.
And like now, Dr. has IE, but Guma almost has Death Cap. And it's not equivalent what these items breakpoints mean, obviously, because it's an AD carry that's doing consistent damage versus Guma doing big burst, but we have as much control as Han will have and continue to remain in control of, and you get a bunch of ability haste from these two Hextech Dragons. You're feeling pretty good if you're the Death Cap wielder, which he will be very soon.
Why is Pioshik a level ahead of Zeka? Well, Kanavi is
Zeka,
as well.
he didn't have the greatest time in the lane.
Yeah.
He died 3 times. I suppose there could be some digging we could do, but
Yeah, I think we could probably figure that one out.
I mean, he almost has 200 CS.
Oh, Peter does have a Shattering Strike to offer back here after the dredge line does connect. With DNS standing their ground. Closer is pretty scary, but he's been pretty quiet over the last little while.
The Baron Pit is the scariest place to be into a Hecarim composition. So
but also, there's a Ziggs.
Yeah, I kind of think that this game's going to slow down to the next Dragon again. Because, like, the side lane that we've seen HLE do, there's a limit to it, right? Like, they can't actually push any further. It's not safe to do so. They are going to start this Dragon up. I'm a little bit surprised by this, but they have insane vision.
Yeah, there is a ward down, and so DNS do know what's going on. Dr. He's got the long-range weaponry this time around.
They got the TP out of the Aatrox.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, so Dudu is just going to step on a minefield.
Stepped on a Lego.
Big ol' shield. That's called wearing shoes before you step on the Legos.
And now DNS are going to try to threaten something here? I don't think so. So like I said, we're going to have the next fight on the Dragon.
Yes. That's what it is looking like, 26 minutes into the game. But this one, I mean, it's still 5,000 the lead for HLE. They still have a lot of control.
Closer almost level 16. You know, he is a big secondary threat in these fights.
That's a cool hat for Gumayusi.
All that DNS need to win a fight, even 5,000 gold lead, here be damned, is some setup here with Closer and Peter. Or maybe if the Hecarim can actually do something this game, it would be great.
Yeah, Peter is in trouble, does crash over the wall, has to flash to avoid that one. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, and Peter is so close to dead. Zeus will be able to get it done as there's a Realm Warp. Petrifying Gaze onto 2, and the Onslaught of Shadows comes through as well. Dom trying to get the damage down as he flashes out of the way. Good use of the Graviton there to peel for himself. Zeus just makes his way out. And Moonlight Vigil, I don't think that's going to quite be enough there. Zeus is pretty tanky. Still, it's a lot of things he can do from a very long range, but still not able to kill the Crocodile.
Is it enough to stop the Baron? I don't think so. Zeus needs to be careful, though.
Yeah, Kanavi is so incredibly healthy as well. He can tank this for days.
There's no engage. There's no way to get on top of Guma. He can actually stand in the front. He does not care. And I think that is just finally going to be the Baron going over here for Hanwha Life.
Yep. And they also got the flash out of Doctarm as well as the Ghost. So next fight is going to be even easier on this Hextech Dragon. Quadra Hextech Soul could be coming in here for HLE if the game lasts that long.
This feels like same story as game 1. Early game fine for DNS, lose control, and then HLE get every single dragon. And sure, you got the Scuttle. But was it worth it? Was it worth it, Peter?
No, they didn't get the Scuttle.
Oh, actually, I thought they got it. Well, you almost got the Scuttle.
Yeah.
Was it worth it, Peter?
I would say no.
I mean, if you look at how this fight could have gone if there was just one little extra bit of CC, you know, HLE probably wouldn't have chased them through a choke point if Peter was alive and had ult at that moment, but a lot of damage on the Zeus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now as DNS, you're like, well, that's it. We don't have any engage. We can't get them. We can't get the bad guys.
Well, this inhibitor turret is not long for the world. That's just going to blow up thanks to a satchel. Inhibitor is going to follow as well.
I mean, there were 2 in top lanes. They can just get this for free.
Yeah, teleport flank angle for the Cassiopeia of all champions as they take out 2 inhibitors.
They are kind of in an awkward spot here, though, with Closer's angle.
Yeah. As the Hex Gate for Zeus, he's on a pretty good flank angle as now Kanavi dives on top of the Snake Lady. Mega Inferno Bomb goes down and she will die. Onslaught of Shadows a little bit late in this one as Doctarm is the target and he's swept up by Zeus. And HLE, I think, will now just parade towards the enemy Nexus and take it down. DNS, it was a decent start. They had that one good fight. But it's been all HLE the entire time since. 10,000 gold the lead, and they will be able to pick up the win here and make it 2-0 on the week.
Finals. He hates that team.
Well, right now you can see Dudu did a fair bit of damage, but Doctarm wasn't quite able to. Gumayushi able to layer in a whole bunch of those bombs and minefields and made life a living hell here for DNS. But I do want to say, DN Supers made him work for it, and this is a team that didn't do very much winning in their last year of play, and so now looking a little bit better, you have to say.
This comp was a little bit tough to pull off here for DNS.
Man,
Closer had a great lane,
not a whole
and then
lot
didn't do anything after that. Look at he has more lane damage than he has in the rest of the game. I think this will come as a surprise to literally 0 people who have ever watched the LCK.
Indeed.
And I think